Hello, it is me, Joe Valek, and I am in a beautiful apartment today. The lake is glistening behind me, the sun is shining, and to my left is the one and only Finn Drone. Hello, how you doing?
I'm very well, thanks, mate. How are you?
Very good. Thank you for welcoming us into your beautiful place, man. You have a nice place, you have a nice aesthetic, and he's clean. Don't forget, guys. Not that anyone doubted it. Now, we're going to start off, as we always do, with a little gift for you. So, if I just draw this out, take a look. Have a look and then show the camera what we've got.
Oh, mate, thank you. Yeah, this is wicked, man. Thank you very much.
So it's Ian Brown, who is actually the lead singer from, do you know which band?
Stone Roses.
He knows. It's a great album. I saw it and thought, you know what? Drone, who is a big fan of all kinds of music, but especially rock and punk rock because of your history as a bassist in a punk rock band. Firstly, tell us, what was it like to be in a band?
It was wicked, man. So that was like a lot of my childhood friends that I grew up with. I was very young. I think I was about 16, 17 maybe. Yeah, it was wicked. It was just hanging out and playing music with your friends and sort of like, I've always been into quite in-your-face music. So it was wicked, man. I think like doing something like that when I was young helped with, like performing and sort of like, playing music and being in clubs and venues and things like that. So it was wicked, honestly. Like I had a great time, yeah.
Would you do a band again?
I would, yeah. So me and my friend, me and my old housemate Jack, and then my friend Rob Notion have actually sort of like flirted with the idea in recent years, just sort of like not even really having a band, just like getting together and like renting out a rehearsal room and jamming and stuff. Yeah. Nothing at the minute, but I wouldn't rule it out, like, yeah.
Nice. And before we move on to actual real Drone, do you think that your influence of, guitar music, heavy music, like your dad was in a band as well.
Yeah.
Do you think like this influences your using of guitar pedals and hardware in your beats today?
I think 100%, yeah. I think I've found that like using pedals and like little effects boxes and things like that is really what I enjoy. It sort of like holds my attention when I'm writing stuff, just fun to have things there in front of you to play with.
Tactile feedback.
Yeah, no, 100%, man. And like, I think using pedals and just sort of like building weird signal chains and like playing with things, like you can get some really interesting results that maybe like I wouldn't sort of sat in the box on the computer. Being into a lot of sort of like heavier music and like playing instruments and using like guitar pedals and distortion pedals and things like that. Like when I was a kid, I just loved having a distortion pedal and just like cranking it up. And I definitely think that has influenced my sort of music making in my later years. So yeah.
Now, that was ancient history. Let's bring it up to the modern day real quick. And let's talk about Evil Sky, which is your record label. What's it been like having your own label so far? It's
been wicked, man. It's something that I'd thought about doing for a while. I'd sort of been planning it for a couple years before I sort of took the leap and decided to do it. It's still, sort of early days and I'm still sort of like finding my feet with it. But I like building something myself, sort of like having that as an outlet for my music and having fun with it, I guess, really, like, yeah.
And you said, quoting, that the point of it is to put out whatever you want. Do you feel more free now that you can do that?
I think, yeah, to an extent, definitely, yeah. I think working with labels is wicked, but, someone might not want to put something out of yours and you might be really into it. And, like, I make so much music and have so much music just sort of, like, stored up on my laptop and hard drives and things like that. Yeah, it just sort of gives me an avenue now to, if I make something and I like it, I can put it out there to the world. I don't have to try and wait for someone to be like, yes, I want to do this.
Nice.
Yeah, no, definitely sort of, feels good.
Another big part of Evil Sky, at least from my point of view, is the brand identity is really clear. You've got really strong colour themes with every kind of release. But I wonder if we look back to the Cash Rules Everything Around Me light stencil project in the Hastings postcard. Do you feel like you're rekindling your love for design with this project?
Maybe I mean, I can't take credit for that, really. That's my boy Yassine is like incredible designer. I just love his style and he's like, a really good friend of mine. So I think from when I had this idea to do Evil Sky, I was like, I wanted him to be a part of it and for him to, take the reins with the design work and have everything looking sort of like nice and cohesive. And also like his style is quite, like going back to what you were saying about rock and like punk and that, a lot of his style is very sort of like maybe punky and like crusty and a lot of like scan things and just something that I really enjoy. So I definitely wanted him to be doing the design work for that.
Nice. Okay, so it's not you. I thought maybe it was.
It's not. No, mate. I've
always been a secret designer since the day.
Back in the day, yeah. I mean, I've always been into art and music, and used to try and design things a lot more myself. But then I think like music really took over, and that was sort of like my main passion. So I just followed.
You channeled your skills into something you were good at.
Yeah.
Well, not that you weren't good at the other thing, of course, but
no. I think like the two sort of go hand in hand as well. So yeah.
Nice. Now, speaking of Hastings, you grew up in Hastings. It's a seaside town on the southeast of England, I would say. You kind of cut your teeth down there in like Bar Blue Cafe in Eastbourne and St Leonard's Festival, stuff like that. But as someone who also grew up on the coast, I miss being there, right? Whenever I go home, the first thing I want to do is go to the sea, get the fresh air. Are you the same, or are you like a city boy now? Yeah,
I think it makes you appreciate it being away from the seaside. You know, if I go see my family or go back to Hastings, it's like that sea air like definitely hits. Like the minute you step out on the seafront and you breathe it in. So yeah, I do miss it a bit, but I think like I definitely see like Bristol probably as my adopted home now. I mean, I still love going back home, and it's a lovely town, lots of lovely people there. I do miss the sea a little bit, yeah.
Is there a good scene down there in the southeast?
Not. I think nowadays a bit better than it was like when I was sort of growing up there. When I was growing up there wasn't really a great deal. There was a bunch of really talented people. There's actually like. Yeah, some amazingly talented people that come out of Hastings, man. Do you know like Green Tea Peng?
Really?
So I was friends with her like when we were growing up, and then Sus Straparazzi.
Sus Straparazzi,
yeah,
really?
Yeah, so he's from Hastings.
Wow.
Also good friends of mine in a band called the Kid Capici, which are like very sort of like they're amazing at the minute. I actually went to see them like a few weeks ago at Thekla. That was really cool, and they're like smashing up the world right now. When I was growing up, there was like a strong little sort of like community of like people like producers, like rappers, like vocalists, like, just all sorts of musicians. There just wasn't too much of a... Actually, I've got to shout out my boy Sonny, DJ Malinky, because he...
Big up Malinky.
Big up Malinky. So he had a studio along the seafront in Hastings. He's had like a few different studios over the years, but when I was like, maybe like 17, 18, we always used to go around his house, and he used to do like little sort of like live streams like from his studio. He used to put on parties in Hastings that would be like, these big sort of like multi-genre parties, and there was like a couple of different spots that he had pretty good relationships with that would let him come in and do things. And then, so yeah, that was like my first sort of like experiences DJing, and also opened me up to a lot of different music. Like he was like, and still is like a massive drum and bass head. So yeah, definitely put me onto like a lot of like amazing music, and he's a really, really skilled producer himself. But yeah, it was only really him, to be honest, like putting on nights sort of like here and there.
It takes one person though, right?
Yeah. No, for sure. I think, after sort of living there for a while and then going out in like, like Brighton and London and surrounding places, sort of get a taste of like a bit more things going on.
More of a buzz.
Yeah, I think like there definitely is like a bit more of a scene down in Hastings now, I would say. But yeah, when I was growing up, there was a lot of talented people, just not really the sort of like platforms or venues or places to accommodate that as much. But yeah.
Now, quite by contrast, you've been to America a few times to perform, done a few tours over there. Tell us, what is the crowd like? Is it different from here, or is it the same?
Yeah, it is different, yeah. I think depending on where you go, there's like definitely different sort of like pockets in different states and different cities and different areas. The main thing I would say that I've definitely come across myself quite a lot, and I know like a lot of my friends and other people that have gone over there have sort of said similar things, is like a lot of places you play, like they don't really sort of like dance and get down as much
Really?
as over here. Like
Wow.
certain places do, and then like
Surprises me actually. I
you
thought
go
they
to
would
certain-
dance more.
You go to certain places and like maybe this is just some of the things that I've played. Certain places like you'll go and play a show and they'll be like, you know, pretty packed out venue, like people stood there, you can see they're kind of vibing, but there's definitely a lack of sort of like people dancing around and going crazy, and then they come up to you at the end and like, you know, throughout the whole set, so, you know, you might be like, oh, I don't really know if they're feeling this, or like, you know, what is this going down well? Like, am I just like fucking destroying this? And then they'll come up to you after and they'll just be like, bro, like that was the craziest set I've ever seen in my life. And I'm just there like scratching
Really?
my head like, what was it like? Because you were just kind of stood there like maybe swaying side to side a little bit. That's not all the places though. Like I think the first couple of times I went over, it was kind of like getting used to a bit of that. And then, don't get me wrong, like there's been some incredible shows and like festivals and things that feel a lot more like you're playing to like a UK crowd or like a European sort of crowd. It's just, I think it's the culture's kind of different as well, because certain shows over there they'll start early and they'll finish early. So it'll be more of like a concert sort of,
Right, rather than like a proper rave.
yeah, like it might start at like 7 or 8 and then be done by like midnight or something. And I think maybe just as I was used to, you know, going out in the UK and people might not go out till like 11, 12 and, you know, then you're there till like early
Silly
hours.
o'clock.
Yeah. So
For sure.
it's just different, I think.
Now, you love hats. It's rare these days that you're seen without a cap on. So I wonder, what is your favourite cap in your collection?
My favourite cap in my collection, oof. You know what? Maybe this one that I'm wearing at the minute, yeah.
Yeah. I think when I arrived here, you were wearing the green one and you changed, and I just noticed that.
Yeah, little outfit change. Yeah, maybe this one. I bought it recently and I just have so many sort of like black hats in my wardrobe, and I was just like trying to wear something with a bit of colour on. So yeah, maybe this hat. And it's a nice material, feels like good quality. So,
Yeah, nice. I like it. But would you ever consider ditching the cap and wearing a more kind of left field experimental type hat? Could you see drone in like a top hat or
what are we talking? A top hat?
fedora, fez? I don't know. You name it, man. Beret, maybe. I don't.
You know what? I would experiment with hats, but the hat that I would not experiment with is, you know, those ones that are like, it's like a beanie turned up really high, and then it has like a sort of buckle at the back.
Oh, like the brimless caps kind of thing.
So it's basically just like a beanie,
Right.
just with like a little thing to fasten it at the back.
I'm not sure about that.
Very strange, yeah. I'm not sure about that myself, to be honest. But I wouldn't say no to like, a little bowler hat or something.
Nice. I could see it actually. I could see it. New line of merch just dropped.
Evil Sky bowler hats coming soon.
Let's take it back, way back now, to Champions League with AJ Tracy. How did that come about?
Wow, that was a long time ago, man. That was
Almost 10 years now, I think. Maybe it's time to celebrate with another AJ Tracy drone link up.
Yeah, bro, maybe even longer, you know. I think I was like 18 or 19 when I made that tune in my bedroom at my parents' like years and years ago. I think I first heard of AJ, it was around the sort of like Radar era, like Radar Radio. I must have just reached out to him on like Twitter or Insta or something and just sent him a couple of beats, and he was feeling that one. And then, yeah, he was like, I want to put it on my, like, I think it was like the first EP done. Not long after that, like, yeah, just took off for him, and yeah.
Nice. And now we look back and we go, Drone's got a track with AJ.
Yeah,
10 years on or more.
Yeah, man.
But another big name in grime who supported your journey is Plastician. Now, I know that Rinse FM sets were really important to you. You used to have them on like your little MP3 player, going to school and all that sort of thing. So I wonder, how did it feel when someone like Plastician was supporting you so early on in your career?
It was wicked, man. It was quite surreal, I think, at the time, because I was just sort of like making beats in my bedroom at my parents and like living in this like small town and yeah, listening to like Rinse sets religiously, and to have someone that I was like, you know, heavily inspired by and looked up to, and I was like, you know, first starting out and when I was really young and like listening to all sort of like iconic plastician beats like back in the day. Yeah, it was wicked. It was a great feeling. Really, really nice guy as well. We played a festival together in the States last year, I think it was. And I think he was playing before me, and we just ended up hanging out like the rest of the afternoon. Got a little bit drunk, and it was really nice. It was quite wholesome. It's like you're chilling with like your uncle or something, and you're like, you know, just like very, very nice guy, man. I can't speak highly enough of him. So
nice. Well, thank you, Plastician.
Big up Plastician.
Now, is there anyone else kind of since then, because he was a big influence early in your career who platformed you and kind of helped you out? Is there somebody more recently that has kind of done the same thing for you, you think, that kind of has a similar impact?
I think maybe Sir Spyro as well. I was like massive, like, Sir Spyro fan, and still am, like, you know, growing up on sort of like lots of early grime and dubstep and listening to Sir Spyro, like the old Rinse shows, used to listen to them religiously, and like there's so many like iconic sets like up online. And I think, to have like someone like him as well support some of my music and, you know, say kind words is like, really cool, man. So big up Spyro as well.
He does a lot for the scene.
100%. Like, I feel like he single-handedly carries a lot of, grime scene, like, and has done for years, you know, like he never misses, like his like incredible DJ, incredible producer, like just produces like anthem after anthem.
He literally does.
Literally, you know, to still be sort of like doing it to the extent that he is now and still like be as hungry as he is, and like, it's incredible, man.
I always suspect he never looks that gassed either. He always seems very like...
He's such a, he looks so calm and just like, you know, just be...
Doing the maddest wheeler.
Pulling off the most disgusting blend, just like... Just nodding his head like that. But he's a legend, man. Big up Spyro.
Respect. I said that we talk about the kind of the radio circuit. You still go around doing the pirate radio. As an artist that's made this their kind of career, do you still find that it is an enjoyable thing to go and do like a radio set?
100%, yeah. I think it feels like very pure to me. I associate sort of going to radio and playing tunes and having fun with sort of like those early years where you'd be, you know, going around your mate's house and just like hanging out and having a mix together and showing each other new tunes and that sort of thing. So I think it's wicked. I think it's really important. I think it's also, you know, a great place to sort of like test out new things you've been making. Like, you know, it's great to test things in a club, and it's also, good to sort of like play things on radio and share things with the world as well. You know, like everything is online nowadays, whereas like, you know, when I was younger, sound like I'm really old now. I'm not that old. I guess I just mean like things are like so instant nowadays, and everything's sort of like archived there instantly. Like a show will finish, you can go listen to it back online or like the next day, or, you know. So I think it's good to, especially as a producer as well, it's good to sort of like, show people new things, what you've been working on, have things sort of like circulating a little bit. And I think mainly just for the fun aspect, like, it's fun to go radio and...
Nothing beats it.
Yeah,
right.
It's fun, man. Have a mix, like play some tunes. Maybe you're doing it with, you know, a guest or your friend or whatever. Yeah, something about it feels like quite pure to me and very, very enjoyable.
Good, glad to hear it. People, if you like music, get yourself a radio show. Why not? You know, there's community stations all over the world, all over Britain. I feel like people forget that to do that, you don't need to be some kind of expert or anything. A lot of these stations just want to give people opportunities. So thanks for the message, because hopefully we'll inspire some more people.
100%, yeah.
Now, the final question is, we're going to look way back again to look forward. So if we take it back to your very first number one, Juno number one, with Skeng Man Mode.
Oh my God.
That was your first number one. But I wonder, if we look forward, where do you kind of see the future going? I think you've got a couple of options. Like, some of the people in your kind of community and circle have kind of gone, not the more mainstream route, but, you know, they're getting a bit more, you know, mainstream features and maybe getting some charting opportunities and stuff like that. Or do you think you want to go down the more left field experimental route, community building in the underground? What does Throne's future look like?
I think I feel like I'm in a bit of a sort of like transitional period at the minute. Like I've always sort of made other styles of music. I've just maybe never had, you know, the opportunity to get it out into the world as much or to show people. So I think going forward, I'm, you know, probably still going to hear certain styles of music that you might associate with me, but I want to try and, like, you know, spread my wings and, yeah, dip my toes into new waters and explore sort of like other styles, and whether that's, yeah, more sort of like left field leaning or, I don't know, man. Yeah, just keep developing my sound and my music and keep things, you know, moving forward.
Go with the flow, so to speak.
Yeah, 100%, man. I feel like
that's good. You're not pigeonholing yourself.
Yeah, I feel like it can be easy to sort of like get stuck in same cycles, and if maybe people were expecting a certain thing from you, to just sort of, you know, be like, give the people what they want, sort of thing. But no, I think experimentation is key, and I want to keep things fresh and keep it moving, and yeah, just keep developing and keep experimenting.
Nice. That's a wise message, and I see that in your future as well, all
Thank
of it.
you.
Now, before I let you get back to your lazy Sunday, anything else you want to say, or any message you got to give for the world, or anything you need to get off your chest?
Get off my chest. Nah, I think just...
Confession corner over here.
I think, like, music-wise, or just like in
anything
general,
you want. This is your opportunity. Tell the people.
Look after each other. Be nice. Be a good person. Yeah.
I hear that. I hear it. All right. Well, Drone, thank you. Let's get.
My pleasure, man.
Hang on. We can do better than that. Let's get a big connection. Nice.
Oh, nice.
Right. Thank you for having us in your house. This guy is the one. Keep an eye out and keep an ear out, I should say. Because yeah, Drone, Evil Sky, going big.
Pleasure. Thank you, man.
Nice one. Congrats, guys.
And I still step with it because outside streets of rage. And I still rep for it, they can't speak on a G's them's name. Sometimes I forget wicked, I stepped in and I seen them change. And I get them down effortless, I get it in, ain't playing no games.